One is old shit. Thank you. And real talk, I really would love to retire this poem. And normally I try not to introduce the poem because the poem can do the work. As a lot of you probably are painfully aware, there's a big, beautiful bill that's in our Senate, and it's a dumpster fire. And the goal is to get it through by July 4th, when most of us are distracted. And this kind of speaks to it. So, here we go. You should be ashamed of yourself. I could tell you the story about how I was too young to see the broken woman looking at me with my mother's eyes as she sent me into the store, alone, to buy bread and milk. I could tell you how I laughed because she didn't send me with money, but with food stamps, without explanation. They were bright and resembled bills from a board game. I laughed because I couldn't understand why these adults would accept fake money, letting me leave with a few items. They had to be stupid, or at least that's what I told my brother. My laughter and inexperience would ease your discomfort, but I've spent too much time drifting between truth and omission, enabling others to find their own lies, which is why I'm going to tell you a different story. The one about when asked, "Where are you from?" I'd answer with a geographic location, because poverty was my zip code. My summers weren't spent in a cottage by the ocean. They were spent in front of a window fan. The only competing sounds were from the cars making left turns down at the track. And on really hot nights, we weren't allowed out after dark because there'd be drunks pissing in our side yard. My parents had to sue our town to stop a corrupt politician from breaking zoning codes. I went to bed hungry, despite my father's 2 jobs. This isn't a bootstrap story. I didn't go to the dentist till I was an adult. But I got braces at 26. I don't work in a factory, but my brother does. I earned my BS when my sister has a GED. This story isn't for you. It's for the children of alcoholics and teenage mothers. Cliches aren't worthy of us. I've broken the cycle even with barriers to entry. Passing isn't enough. Hunger isn't something I can forget, but it is something I will end. Thank you. And for those that don't know, because some of you are young, back in my day, it really looked like funny money. You would rip them out, and they were ridiculous. And really, government cheese slaps. So anyone tells you otherwise is totally a fed. All right, this is revised shit.
Revised shit.
Thank you. Genderqueer in a Femme body. Alternate title, A Love Letter to Myself, a poem in 3 parts. 1. I've always looked like my brothers, but I learned to wield femininity like the gun tattooed on my thigh. My soft edges are an armor estrogen has gifted me, but a curse from the heteronormative patriarchy. A hard body is hidden underneath. It is not nature versus nurture, but how they coalesce. My father used to dress me in my brother's hand-me-downs, until my mother imposed her will in the form of everything pink, lace, or velvet. Ironically, gender roles weren't either of their strong suits. Shorts were added once it was clear that I was a skilled climber. Grass-stained knees resulted in discipline and modified play clothes. My ability to lose the battle, but when the war started early. Being underestimated has its advantages. My birth order taught me how to take a hit and make mine count. 2. My femininity is defined by my body, tender, supple yet dainty, fertile. But this body didn't arrive until I was 16, almost 17. I spent half my life as her and half as me. My self-portrait is androgynous, more feminine boy than hourglass girl. I struggle to find the beauty in the ways my body carries its weight because it does so in anticipation of a baby, even though my tubes are tied. I'm the masculine partner in all my relationships, which is to say, I do not believe in the gender binary, but I lack the language to stop grouping things as humans so love to. I'm learning to love the ways in which the hourglass marks time, while still honoring the one that swam topless, because their chests match their brothers and not their mothers. 3. Some days I am too high femme to function, but there are nights where I dance sky-clad with the moon, one with the divine feminine. Making out is the only sex act that is uniquely my own. Top or bottom, pegging or switch, doesn't matter. I'm simply aggressive. I'm a pixie, somewhere between fairy and maiden, no gayer than straight, both agitator and empath. My body does not define me. After all, I did not design it. Bodies are so poorly designed. But here I am, closer to 40 than 14, more alive than I ever knew possible. I'm learning to praise the function rather than get hung up on the form. After all, a building is just a building until someone or something inhabits it. and my body can house a 3-ring circus. On a good day, I'm blessed to be the ringmaster. Thank you.